Okay, 8:02 right now, and back to our top story this morning. Surveillance video capturing the moments. Look at this when a Bronx building sent debris and rubble plummeting to the streets below yesterday afternoon. At this hour, still no reports of anybody seriously injured or even killed after 7 stories of the multi-use building collapsed.
It's nothing short of a miracle, and even now, as the sunlight returns, crews are picking up the pieces, while the Red Cross is helping victims who have no home to return to.
So we are live with team coverage for you in the Bronx all morning long. We've been there all morning long. Pix 11's Julie Millay live at a temporary shelter now assisting those displaced.
But first, let's get out to Kiran Dhillon for the very latest on what officials are telling us this morning. Kiran, what do we know?
Hi, good morning, Kala and Dan. Well, this morning there have been so many residents of Morris Heights here in the Bronx walking by this partial collapse here behind me, asking questions. They want to know, how could this have happened? They want to know more about the investigation, but all of those details, it's still preliminary. The FDNY says they'll still be here for days trying to figure out, if not weeks, trying to figure out exactly what happened. But the great news this morning is that no one was killed in this partial collapse, but more than 100 people have been displaced. Let me give you a look behind me right now so you can see for yourself. Now, take a look. The building in question is still standing here, but the corner of the collapse is clearly visible. There's debris and rubble on the street right in front of the building, and the FDNY is also here surveying the damage. And as you can see, there's even furniture like a bed hanging from one of the floors. The terrifying partial collapse was caught on video. Pedestrians can be seen running for their lives as 6 stories came crashing down.
Maybe like an earthquake type noise. It was very loud.
The catastrophic collapse at 1915 Billingsley Terrace took place around 3:30 in the afternoon. Many of the people who live in the 50-unit building were still at work or school. Belongings like beds and clothes still visible, even in the destruction.
Once they start cracking, everybody start going out.
These deli workers somehow made it out of the first floor in time.
They were able to evacuate on time.
Because they heard the cracking noises?
Yes.
First responders got to the scene in 90 seconds, and for hours, firefighters searched through debris and rubble, using drones, dogs, and even robots to search for any victims.
We'll be here until we're down to the street level, just to make sure if there are any victims under there, hopefully we can get to them in time.
Miraculously, it appears only 2 people suffered minor injuries. The Department of Building says the apartment was built in 1927 and is 7 stories tall. There were several open violations around unsafe facade conditions, though none of them structural. Work was currently being done on the building.
That report did find unsafe facade conditions, 7 of them. Mortar that was deteriorating, cracked bricks.
So what exactly will happen to the remaining part of this building is still unknown this morning. Of course, you can imagine, you guys, how many safety issues and concerns there are right now. The DOB will continue this investigation. Again, we know that no one was killed. That is the good news this morning, but more than 100 people have been displaced from their homes. The Red Cross is now assisting them with shelter and food. We are live this morning in the Morris Heights section of the Bronx. Kiran Dhillon, Pix 11 News.
Okay, Kiran, thank you for the update there at the scene. Now let's get out to Pix 11's Julie Millay, who is live at public school turned emergency shelter to help those who were living inside that building at the time. Julie, what's the latest where you are?
Well, Dan, I just spoke to the principal here at PS 396 who told me that all of the residents who were here overnight had been cleared out.